Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name is Kellam. Welcome to the show. You can find all my information right there. You also see it next to my face for most of the stream, but I just want to make sure everybody's doing good, feeling grateful this morning. There's tragedy and catastrophe all over the world, and yet the majority of us, maybe not all, we got a roof over our head, we have food, we have a computer to surf the internet and speculate in an emerging market. And we could be here together. We could be a community. That's what this is all about. Now, I just want everybody right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We've got a lot to go over here. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin. Is it boring, or is this set up for one of the best opportunities of our life, especially right before it looks like the true bull is likely to kick off sometime here? Could be in a couple days, could be in a few months. Looking at what's happened early 2023, the first half of the year, we broke out from about $15,500 all the way up to over $31,000. And now we're still consolidating up, pretty high level, $29,300 level. Ben Cowan said he went away on a trip for 9 days, and when he left, it was $29,300. And when he came back, it's still $29,300 region. So what does that mean? How do we break down the charts and what's going on? Now, I want to everybody that's in the chat right now, and if you're watching at a later point, comment down below. Did you watch the Saturday video that we did, the interview with Jordan Lindsay, breaking down when we can really identify that the true bull market has started? What do I mean by true bull market versus the bullish impulse that we had? The bullish impulse means that we broke out of that bearish, the bear market. I mean, we were fully bear. And in that bear market, let me go ahead and pull up my chart here real quick. If we look at this, we zoom out, boom, let me come over here to the chart. If we zoom out on this, come to the 3-day, we can see right here, let's go ahead and draw some lines. We got to get creative here. So we can see right here, this is the bear market when we're just coming down, rejection, rejection, rejection. We come right here. Is this the bull? Is this the start of the bull market rally? Not yet, because we had not even broken this high. Now, once we broke past this high, came down, retested, it was this impulse here where we can really confirm, because one, we have a higher low, and we've confirmed that we have a higher high, followed by a higher low, followed by a higher high, higher low, higher high, very barely higher high. And where is this low going to be? Is this Elliott wave theory going to play out, where we have the impulse up, pullback, impulse up, pullback, impulse up, which is a 5-wave setup as we see in the Elliott wave theory? Is this going to be the dominant strategy that we're going to see play out on the charts? We're going to be breaking all that down. We're going to be talking about what it means if this does pull back, and what's the likelihood of this finding support here and actually pushing higher and breaking past this zone. How can we collate the data and pull the analysis that we have together between looking what's going on in the news, looking at what's going on with ETFs, and the potential further delays? ARK Invest spot ETF was delayed, but we also have Bitwise and BlackRock coming up at the beginning of September. So we got to talk about all this stuff. If we look right here, we also have a boom. Look at this right here. We also have this sort of top right here. And from this point to this point, we've created also this sort of descending level of resistance. What does this mean? If we think about it, what happens when price gets compressed into a zone? It's got to make a decision. Not only does it have to make a decision, if we pull up the BBWP, we have the Bollinger Band with percentile. Look at this on the 3-day. Look how low this is. And we've talked about this before. BBWP are things very compressed in terms of volatility, or are they expanded? Meaning, has price been being very boring and consolidating into a very tight range? That's what happens when you get this very low. And if there's very little volatility, everything in markets is cyclical. And therefore, when you see a compression like this, we had it for some time here, all the way from May 2023, all the way until June. So about the beginning of May, end of April, all the way through basically about just past the middle of June. And then what happens after that compression? Expansion and volatility. Expansion and volatility does not mean price go up. Expansion and volatility means price make large move after consolidating. So we have been consolidating here. Look, we've already been sort of both moving averages here have been down this low since the beginning of August. Does this mean we're going to be still in compressed volatility in a consolidative sort of range for another couple weeks? Does this mean expansion is coming soon? Well, how can we decipher this? Well, looking at this doesn't give us a time estimate. And as Charlie from Cultivate Crypto points out, a lot of people don't utilize time as much as they should in terms of how patterns and price action tend to resolve over certain periods of time. And Bitcoin tends to have a sort of 60-day window. That's one aspect. But then you can also look at this descending level of resistance as well as this rising level of support. And you can see that they have an apex right here at September 7th. Does this mean price is going to come all the way over here, all the way to September 7th? Not necessarily. But somewhere in this region, this is about when price action tends to make its move. When we're about 75% or more, 80%, roughly 80 to 90% of the way through a pattern that has an apex point. Somewhere in this region is when the breakout tends to happen. Breakout could be up, breakout could be down. And we're going to be talking about how we can identify what direction it may go, or maybe will it go both ways? What do I mean by that? A lot of times in markets, especially with these smaller assets comparatively with global equities, rather than just breaking out, a lot of times what we'll see is a breakout, fake out to the downside, and then upside, and then down, and then continue up, or vice versa. Breakout to the upside, down, loss it, and down. So we have to figure out how we can stack the probabilities in our favor so that we can take control of this market rather than letting the market take control of us. So coming back to my face right here, everybody, I hope you're all feeling well. I hope you're all doing good. We got 99 people in the room, 65 likes. Everybody hit that like button right now. I looked at the metrics. We ate away at that 60% a little bit. Last week, it was still around 60% of the people that watch on a daily basis. That means you're back watching regularly on this channel. You're not subscribed. Subscribe, join our community here. That has ticked down a little bit. Now it's about 57%, but it just blows me away that you want to be here regularly, but you're not a part of the community in terms of subscribing, helping the numbers, letting YouTube know that you like crypto content. So again, my name's Kellam. If this is your first time, I can guarantee you this is not going to be your last time. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, before we dive into the charts, before we dive in to breaking down the data, the context, the news, the TA, the signals, we got to step back for a second and talk a little bit about everything going on in Hawaii, because I'm particularly tied to it. I have a bunch of family there. About half the family that I have there has lost everything. And not only them, they're just, for me, an easy lens onto what's happening there in Lahaina and around that sort of that coastal line of Maui, from Lahaina up to Napili over, not Kahului, that area. There's a lot of people that have suffered total loss. Now, I just want to go through something my cousin shared. My cousin, one of my brothers, I mean, he was more like my brother than my cousin. He's going to be living out here with me here at the end of September, beginning of October, working on some BitLab stuff with me. But he's kind of feeding me some information about what's going on there. I just wanted to share this with everybody so everybody could see just a little bit. He shared this. Hey, everyone here, here's a direct fund that will go to helping my family and close friends who were affected by the fires. This is going to be a rough few months, if not years. If you've ever met my family, you know how generous they are. They'll never ask for help. This is still true. I had to set this up myself, but the reality is they're going to need help. So anything you can spare would be amazing. Now, coming on to this next thing here. So it seems, look how bad. It's just complete loss. Coming on here. This is one of our very, very, very close friend of our families, Adam. Can you see his house? No, because it's a total loss. It's gone. Come on to the next one here. His golf cart survived, but the Lahaina Harbor historic building where it was parked did not. Honestly, don't even know what this used to be. Give them a follow, help them. I love these people very much, and they lost everything. And this is the most important thing right here. Coming over here. This is, so again, my cousin grew up there. This is where all the shops and restaurants and everything was on Front Street. Complete loss. Now, the important thing is here, it's not that people just lost their houses or they lost cars and all this sort of stuff, but it's, another person lost their house. All she has is a backpack. You see there. Now, coming over here, this is something I wanted to point out. This is a long-term mission. Thousands of people have nowhere to live. The ones who still have a home lost their jobs. Why? Because the venues are no longer there. And some of the people that do have venues where the jobs could be, those people are so focused on, reestablishing a roof over their head and other things that there's basically people lost their homes and their jobs. So it's a lose-lose for everyone connected to Lahaina. It's all gone. Praying for the families. We got the worst of it and lost loved ones. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. So I just wanted to point that out. If you had it in your heart, we have a fund my cousin set up right here, and I have it pinned in the top of the chat, and I'm going to post it again right here. This is a fund that my cousin set up that's going to be dispersed evenly through people that lost everything. It's not just our family. It's different people on the island. Our family's been there for 40 years, since the late 60s, I believe. My grandfather's 100. My grandma's 93. Luckily, their house is okay. My cousin, other cousin, Mark, he's basically lost everything but his house, but they keep having wildfires pop up there around the area. And there's 2 more hurricanes, 2 more typhoons that are headed that direction. And one of the issues here is that the wind is blowing down power lines, and the power lines are starting fires, and then the wind just takes the fire beyond anybody's control. Nearly immediately. So if you have it in your heart to, donate what it would cost you to go out for one meal this week or this month, whether it's $20, $100, anything, $1, anything that you can spare, it would be appreciated. And it's, this is going to go again, not to my family. It's going to go to, there's probably about 150 different people that we're going to be dispersing this money to. I just wanted to share that. Now, I appreciate you all letting me go off track from crypto, but we have to remember the reason we want to make money in crypto, the reason we want to expand our portfolios is not just so we have, dollar signs look higher on screen. No, we want capital to live a healthy and happy life, to help others. So if we're not helping others when we don't have money, how likely is it going to be when we have money? Now, I appreciate you all, again, let me go off track there, but I think it's important that we tune into things going on. And again, I'm tied to this because I've got a bunch of family out there. Now, I think it's time to break down everything going on with the charts and everything else. So let me go ahead and come over here. Sometimes the internet is so slow when I'm on here. Now, if you haven't yet, make sure you head over to my Twitter page right here at Kelly Kellam. You can also see it right there next to my face. That's how you spell it. Spell it the correct way. Look for the blue check. Look for the hit logo. And another playful thing here. This has nothing to do with crypto, but whether some of you may know it or not, for 15 years I played nationally and internationally as a DJ. I was always doing different online business stuff in crypto, but I was basically a professional DJ, underground house music, techno, all kind of stuff. But I just when I was in Vermont, I was there at a conference and a festival, and I ended up DJing at the festival. This is the mix. If you'd like to listen to it while you're working, it's right here. You can listen to it. Jam. I basically remixed about 12 years worth of house music with some new music and old music. I even mixed U2 into this set. So if you want to have some music while you're bouncing around, running errands, or at the gym, or trading, this is a good mix for you to listen to. Now, again, you know what? I messed up here because I did not. Let me go ahead and come right here. I basically remixed about 1 second. I did not. What the heck? There we go. I did not share. Let's go ahead and do it right now. I did not share the link. Is Bitcoin boring? This is what we got to do. There's so much to do every day. Sometimes you miss something. Is Bitcoin boring? Or is the best opportunity of your life? There we go. I messed up. I forgot to post the tweet this morning. Let me go ahead and share this. Now, again, is Bitcoin boring right now? Do you think Bitcoin is boring right now? Throw a 1 in chat right now if you feel like Bitcoin is boring. throw a 2 in chat if you're okay with this and actually you appreciate the fact. Man, oh, Justin, you were the first one to share this. I appreciate you, Mr. Eubanks. Is Bitcoin boring? Are you appreciating the opportunity that's setting up so that you can dominate this market? I'm okay with it. Does it feel like it sucks because it takes forever for the best setups to arrive? Yes, it does feel like that sometimes. However, that's what we need to be okay with so that we can sit back and wait and allow the market to come to us. That's what we want. We want the market to come to us. Today's post. There we go. So I think it's time. Let's go ahead and break it down. Now, if you haven't, I'll go through that in a little bit. First thing I want to talk about right here, this news came out at the end of last week and over the weekend. Donald Trump reveals substantial crypto holdings, but it's not Bitcoin. Does this mean that we should not hold Bitcoin because Donald Trump doesn't? And you can replace his name with anything. It could be Donald Trump. It could be Elon Musk. It could be Jeff Bezos. Name anybody that you may or may not look up to, anybody that has a lot of community, basically fame or anything. Their decisions are based on their understanding of whatever market or assets that they're investing in or not investing in. So because he's not investing in this, does this mean Bitcoin's bad? No, not at all. What this really means is that he saw an opportunity based on something that he learned or something that somebody told him about. And in this case, he did not foray into Bitcoin. But the fact that he's holding crypto is awesome. If we come down right here, Trump holds Ethereum. Trump's 2023 financial disclosure filed with the United States Government Ethics, OGE, has revealed that the former president holds up to $500,000 in Ethereum as a part of his assets. Trump listed cryptocurrency wallet that contains Ether valued between $250,000 and $500,000. So that's great. My question is going to be, when is Biden going to turn the corner and participate in the crypto ecosystem? And also the likes of other major people, whether it's Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or, Warren Buffett. If Warren Buffett all of a sudden changed his tune and really started investing in crypto, that would be phenomenal. Go ahead and minimize that. All right. Now, it's those NFTs he sold. You know what? That's a great point, Hefe. Great point. Is the reason he held crypto because he was selling NFTs, and is the reason he's holding Ethereum because he was selling NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain? Very likely, and it makes sense. But either way, regardless of how he got there, he's holding crypto in his wallets, in his portfolio of various assets. Now, next thing here, SEC will not approve a Bitcoin spot ETF, says SEC official. Now, I did not even read this. I had to pull up some stories relatively quickly, and I wanted to share some of this stuff. John Reeds Stark says SEC will not approve a Bitcoin spot ETF. The former SEC attorney says the regulator is concerned about manipulation and lack of regulation in the crypto ecosystem. Let's talk about the billions and billions of fines that get levied on to traditional finance and banks and investment bankers. And I mean, think about the biggest scammer ever. What was his name? Bernie Madoff. Right under the SEC's nose for the better part of 2.5 decades. So is it the crypto ecosystem, or is it just people, no matter what asset class that you're talking about, that has issues? Yeah, the official added that it might take a Republican government for more crypto-friendly policies to come up. I could see that. And then, you know what? The funny thing is, Bitcoin and crypto assets should not be a partisan thing, whether you're Democrat or Republican. It's something that stands about freedom and upgrade tremendously in utility and functionality and transparency. It's a bipartisan thing, and it's agnostic to any sovereign government. It's not U.S. It's not China. It's not. And the U.S. needs to take note of that and get involved so we can be a part as a country, not just individuals within this country, but the country itself. We can be part of this revolution. Now, coming over here to this next article here, all the top assets in crypto sector have seen lowering volumes recently. Now, this is concerning because volumes, if you have diminished volume in any asset, any particular asset or an asset niche, asset class, then it tends to it can signal lack of interest, which could allow whatever floor that may have been built fall out from under it, because there's a lack of interest there. And at some point, the buyers get exhausted, because if you're having a floor, what do I mean by floor? If we look at the price right here, we've sort of established a short-term floor right here, meaning the price is not going below a certain level. The price action, each time it dips, get bought up, dips, bought up, dips, bought up. So if you have decreased volume over time, and if we look at this, we can see this clearly. Look at the volume spike here, and then it's just been on a downward trajectory over time. If we look at this on the weekly, same thing. If we look at this on the daily, we're kind of having a little bit of chop on the daily. But overall, look at this. Here, lower, lower, a little bit of a peak here, but a little deviation. But we see large in part the volume is respecting this sort of diminishing line here. So at some point, we're going to get a massive spike in volume. And it's the curious thing that everybody's wondering, is that spike in volume going to be buy side or sell side pressure? And then how sustainable is that? Is it going to have follow through? That's what we want to really know here. According to the data from on-chain analytics firm Sentiment, volumes in the crypto market have taken a hit recently. The trading volume here refers to a measure of the total amount of a given asset that the holders are moving on the blockchain right now. Meaning, I sell to you, or I buy or sell on exchange, or transfer from my wallet to another wallet. How much volume is moving around of different crypto assets? When the value of this metric rises, it means that a large number of tokens of the crypto is in question is seeing movement currently. Such a trend implies that traders are actively participating in the market right now. So essentially what we're seeing is, think of volume this way. Not only is the volume going down, what we're seeing is the active participation in the market is going down. So people are losing interest. When people lose interest and they start looking away, that's when big moves happen. And that's in line with what we saw with the BBWP, the volatility metric. Volatility's the lowest it's ever been. We showed you a couple charts last week with that, from Matthew Hyland and other folks. But the volume and interest is diminishing, and the volatility is at essentially all-time lows. And in addition to that, we're coming into this sort of squeeze right here. Something is bound to happen. So we just need to take note of that. Top cap crypto trading volumes continue to decline as trader FUD and apathy begin to mount. So we can see that. We understand it all. Okay, now coming to this next thing, is there a positive story we can share? Yes, there is. Hash ribbons flash buy signal amid low volatility. The hash ribbons indicator flashed a blue buy signal for the second time in 2023, suggesting a potential Bitcoin price increase expected. The low volatility of Bitcoin price indicated by the BBWP, what I was just talking about, Bollinger Band width percentile, suggests a significant move in the cryptocurrency market is imminent. The hash ribbons indicator, based on Bitcoin's hash rate, aka how much hash is required to mine a block, how many miners are competing to mine blocks, essentially is what we're measuring, previously signaled a blue signal in January, leading to a 27% price increase. Now, you can pull this up on your charts. Come over to your charts if you have charts on a second screen. And what we can do, we're going to delete the BBWP down here. Boom, delete that. We're going to come up here and we're going to do, I could actually go to favorites. Where's hash ribbons? Boom. You can see this on your chart right here on the bottom. So what this shows is when you have these, we're going to kind of go like this, option V, right where the buy signals are, option V, option V, option V, option V, option V, and option V. Now let's see what price does if there's a high hit rate. What is a hit rate? If you identify a signal and you're looking for X to happen, whether it's price go up or price go down. So will this buy signal on the hash ribbons line up with price action that has a consistency over time? This is called historical analysis, looking left on the chart, seeing how what the regularity or the consistency of a signal happening and then price doing whatever it is you're looking to do. In this case, we want to see, does price go up when these buy signals flash? So we're going to double click back off of this. And okay, so here we go. We got a buy signal, a small correction, price up. Buy signal, almost immediately straight up. Buy signal, up. Buy signal, up. Buy signal, it was already in the middle of a move, continued up, small pullback, continued up. Buy signal, this one failed. So there is a failed call here. Buy signal, look at this. Boom. This is the start of really the start, before we even got above this high, the start of this really tremendous rally. And we have one more. It's happening right here, option V. So what is to happen right now? Now, zooming in on this, we're looking at the daily. Let's come down to the 1 hour. Let's look at this. Got a couple lines here that I've drawn over the weekend. Let's go ahead and mute the BitLab volume. We can see that we are breaking out of this on this 1 hour chart, this consolidation range right here. So we had two different trend lines that I drew. One from the bottom here to the top here, to this top. We kind of broke out, deviated back down below, broke out back above, found support on this zone. If we, found support on this zone, and that is, I'm lining this up to hit this perfectly. And look at this, did deviate back below. So this is a little bit of a failed breakout, came back down, tested lower, broke back above it, came down, tested this line, and has moved off this line to the upside. So as it stands right now, does this mean it's going up, up, and away from here? We can't say that, but what we can say is this buy signal that we're seeing on the hash ribbons has lined up with, I mean, how many lines did we have? I don't even remember. We have another one right here, option V. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of, we can't count this one because it hasn't happened yet, but we had one failed one that was right here. So in this case, it was 7 out of 8 of these resulted in upside price action. And that's not even going all the way back. If we zoom out just a little bit, we can do another one right here. So that would be 9 out of 10. This one had a double, so this one's kind of split. We got another one right here. My point being is we can utilize metrics from the miners. What's going on with these people that are actively participating in securing the network and profiting off of it. Therefore, their ability to make money relies on them to understanding what's going on in the market, when to shut off their miners, when to turn them on, when to be profitable. And the hash ribbon is a measurement of that based on the activity of what those miners are doing. And we can see it based on their hash rate. Are they systems on, systems off, and different moving averages that basically cross on that metric that give us a signal. And in this case, we can see almost all of these, except for 1 or 2, has resulted in upside price action. So let's go ahead and delete all these lines just because it's going to drive me crazy later if I have to do this. So question for you all, how many of you, when you are doing your analysis, are looking only at technical analysis price action charts? Just type in price action if that's all you look at. How many of you blend or marry or pull together a little bit more of a quantitative look? And yes, maybe primarily use price action, but also lean into looking at different metrics, on-chain data, stuff like this, hash ribbons, understanding what's going on with miners, understand what's going on with price as it relates to the realized price, the market value versus the realized value. We see that on the MVRVZ score. Now, speaking of that, let's head over here and look at the Bitcoin strategy platform. This is, the Rational Root. I share his charts all the time. But he's got this Bitcoin strategy platform does a great job. He basically utilizes a number of different metrics and puts it in real-time charts so you can see what's going on. In this case, we got all-time high, which would be these black dots. And then we have the Bitcoin price, which is this right here. I got the chart up now. That way I don't get a bunch of dings in my ear. We can see this is a Bitcoin price. Now we also have the 200-day SMA, which is this line right here. SMA, when you see that, is simple moving average. We have the 21-week simple moving average, which is, you could put your mouse over it here. We see this black dotted line. The short-term holder cost basis, which is this greenish line right here. The long-term holder cost basis, which is this black line right here. It's right here. And the realized price, which is this line right here. So between these various metrics of just traditional moving averages, as well as moving averages of different types of cohorts of the realized price, whether it's short-term holders cost basis, aka realized price, or the long-term holders, we can get a lot of different metrics here. And we can see all of these are starting to angle up, other than the long-term holder cost basis has actually been dropping a little bit, which is interesting. But we see this is finding support on the short-term holder cost basis, as well as the 21-week simple moving average. Between these two, look at this. It found support here, found support right here. Dipped, really scared people here. We're still sitting above this. So in terms of the health of the technical health of what we're doing with this bullish impulse, things are still looking relatively healthy, but it doesn't mean there can't be a pullback. But what I want to see is when this breaks down, if it does break down below the short-term holder cost basis, short-term holders, if it goes below their cost basis, the average price that of the short-term holder coins, right, the last time they were bought or sold, if it drops below that, what do we know about short-term holders? Short-term holders have weak hands, meaning they are very susceptible to small moves in price and have a high likelihood of capitulating, aka selling, if price not go up. So that means, therefore, if price action falls below the short-term holder cost basis, we may see a little bit of a sell-off, because any strength that's there for them holding has a high likelihood of evaporating and creating sell pressure, which, if you think about it, that's what smart money, long-term holders want. They want people to capitulate so that they can drive the price down, because they can be there with liquidity to buy up those weak hands selling. Because let's be honest, if price is going down, the type of mindset of somebody that's buying if price go down is, I won't say 100%, but a large majority of people buying when price is dropping are people that have a longer term vision of what's going on with the market. So they're okay with buying when price comes down. So there's a transfer of the weak-handed people selling to the strong-handed people. So the question is, what is your strategy? Now, the 200-day SMA is down here at 27,139. Typically, in most markets, one of the things you like to see, if you're going to have and maintain a bullish structure, bullish impulse, is to have the price action stay above the 200-day moving average. Now, you can get a lot more macro with larger assets and look at like the 200-week. In this case, this is a much faster moving asset, and it's also much newer assets and a much smaller market cap than traditional global equities. And so 200-day is a fairly macro metric we can look at. And so we see here, when we lost this, we did come back up. Look at that. We tested the 200-day moving average here, rejected, came down. And it wasn't until, look at this, we broke this right here, which is very similar to, if we zoom in here, it's very similar to about where this metric is right here, just above this zone, and we actually tested below it. So when we look at the 200-day moving average, that's roughly about the same spot right here. This actually called it ahead of when that downtrend resistance was. Great metric. But as it stands right now, we are still sitting on these levels. Now, if we come back over here, let me go to, was it, I can't remember what it was. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, this is a great one from Stock Money Lizards. Accumulation, these capitulation zones down here, and the accumulation chop. Capitulation zone, accumulation, a little bit of chop, and then push up back above it. Came back down, tested it, launch. Accumulation zone, come up here. Do we have a little bit of a rejection here? Are we going to push up and get rejected down? Either way, we are still within a zone. You see this, even if you didn't take advantage of these low, very low bold sort of move smart money took in terms of buying at these zones, at least it felt like that to us, less cultured traders, we can see, even if we waited for a little bit of a confirmation, breakout, look at that, retest of this zone. Breakout, retest of the zone. Point being is here, the point here being is that you don't have to be involved in every single trade and have to get the bottom. Because if you're not a professional trader, not somebody that has a lot of experience in markets, then the likelihood of you buying down here and not, selling, here and then not getting back in up here, basically trading emotionally. We don't want to do that. So for anybody that's worried about what's happening with price action, you can see the past cycles of what has happened with price levels, the accumulation zones, and what has happened after we've broken out of these accumulation zones. Yes, this came back retested. Yes, this came back and retested, but launch. It's like you're climbing out of the pool, climbing up on the diving board. You jump up to jump on the diving board and boom, launch. So we have a lot of work to do yet before we have that true bull parabolic move. But we know, looking at this chart, let's go right, where's 24 April? Let's just kind of do it right there, option V. This is about where the halving is going to be, somewhere likely in the middle of April. So are we going to sell off here? Are we going to trade sideways, push up, sell off into the halving? Are we going to break down here and then pump into the halving? I don't know, but we do see a lot of lines crossing in this zone right here. So something is going to happen in this region. And I just want to not warn, but just inform all of you that if you did buy up here and the price drops, that doesn't mean it's time. This is not financial advice, but this is strategy advice based on the historic patterns of Bitcoin on the halving cycle. If this does drop from here, this doesn't mean, oh, you better capitulate because it's going all the way back down. Maybe it does go back down and test $15,000. But ultimately, we can see looking at this, looking at these charts, knowing where the halvings are. Little sell off into the halving, launch. Little chop, push up, sell off into the halving, launch. Push up way early, sell off, a little bit of a rally again, sell off, global economic shutdown, launch. So regardless of what happens here, even if we push up, the likelihood of this coming back down and being somewhere in the $27,000 to $35,000 region, this sort of block, we can even just leave it here until the halving happens. Somewhere in this block right here is where I expect Bitcoin to be at the time of the halving. So whether or not we sell off and come back to it or push up and sell off into it, it's okay. Patience is key, Daniel-san. Would be good if you could do these charts of altcoins with buy action circles. You mean like targets for where good buy opportunities are? Not sure what you mean there. 162 people in the room. We only got 94 likes. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We got a lot of stuff still to go through. Now, I just want to come back over to these on-chain data charts. Actually, let me scroll up. I want to see what you guys said here. Somebody said hash browns. Hash browns, hash ribbons, baby. I don't know. All right. So coming over here to the value map, I really like this one right here. It weighs what's going on with the circulating supply as well as price action and cost bases, and it basically creates these value zones. And we can see where we're sitting right now. Where is the line right below us is the undervalued sort of band, and that's at essentially about 26.7. Now, if we look previously in past cycles, we broke out of this way back here and just sort of worked our way up to the halving. We broke out of this way early. The asset class was much smaller back here as well. So let's kind of look at the division between this cycle and this cycle. Man, we pushed past the undervalued quite early here. We did break past this undervalued, but we're still in this band, this middle band right here. sometime later. So yeah, right above this is fair value is 40,717. So we could go all the way up there and still sell off, come back and retest these sort of levels that we're at. There was something else I wanted to, we got to peek at let's look at the correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500. SPY is pushing up. Small little sell-off here. I mean, it's a decent sized sell-off. Also, look at that. It kind of looks like a broadening wedge. Resistance, support, broadening. This is actually somewhat of a bearish signal that it's an upward angled broadening wedge, but the S&P is pushing up while Bitcoin is selling off. Is this calling for some sort of catch up of Bitcoin to catch up to this move? I don't know. I mean, look at this. We saw S&P started breaking out here in October, a little bit of a sell-off, and then even this launch here happened before our launch. Are we in for some sort of upward price action? Let's look at global liquidity. Global liquidity is still contracting, meaning how much available capital is being pumped into the markets from, the U.S., China, the Euro, Eurozone. And we want to see this start ticking up if we want to see the markets go up, especially Bitcoin. So just take note of that. Now, if you haven't yet, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy Twitter page right here, @Academy BitLab. Hit that like button, or hit the heart button here, hit the retweet. Make sure you're following us here. Get involved. This is where we draw our winners from each week. Those of you that support and share out this, with your friends and family. And again, we are going to be doing a drawing at the end of this stream. So come over here, get involved. And if you haven't yet, make sure you're coming over to my page. Follow me here @KellyKellam. Now let's go ahead and break down a bunch of TA on all the different altcoins. Now let's Bitcoin and a lot of the altcoins. Now we're going to come down to let's do it a different time frame. Let's do the 3-hour chart. Let's look at the 3-hour chart. Bitcoin. Okay, we have these levels marked from where previous zones have been. This high, and look at this. We kind of come over here like this. It wasn't just this high; it was this high as well as support here, support, rejection. Candle body rejection, and we have the upper zone here, but we have this descending level of resistances. Let's go ahead and remove the hash ribbon so we can see the chart more clearly. Turn on the BitLab volume, and look at this. We're pushing right up into, these are order block zones on the BitLab volume. See these auto-populate, and this is currently acting as resistance. Coming up into this zone, and we're not able to break past these highs currently, but what does it look like? On the 3-hour, we see that the momentum is starting to dwindle a little bit, but the stochastics are angled up. We see this. Got a little bit of a mixed bag down here in the bottom right corner with this basically control panel for the BitLab Trend Fuel. All of these indicators being part of the BitLab trading stack. And we can see that's a little bit of a mixed bag. On the daily, it's very sort of choppy. Let's go to the 12-hour. I mean, look at this move. This is nice. This is a nice little breakout. 8-hour, 4-hour. I'm trying to see. Yeah, look at this. This is starting to get on the 4-hour, starting to dominate into the green. And we also see, look at this. This is starting to angle up. Stochastics angled up. RSI angled up. See what I mean? The stochastics are orange. RSI is purple. Both angled up. This is starting to clip to the upside. We want to see the money flow rotate over and flip into the blue. Essentially blue, like watering your garden. Coming back to the 3-hour, starting to pull back a little bit. Let's look at the 2-hour. Starting to flip bullish on the signals, but the momentum's still coming down. But look at this strong stochastic and RSI angle to the upside. Now, let's see. Are we seeing any signals? We're also breaking above the 50 and the 20 moving averages here. I'd like to see this if and when this does pull back. I'd like to, rather than coming down and testing this line again, as a bull, I would like to have this come back and test this EMA ribbon and the 20 moving average and the 50 moving average, which are all very tightly grouped right here. And it looks like the trend signal line, which is a 50 moving average here, is also flipping from red to grayish. We'd like to see that flip green and have this come down and find support on top of that line. That's what we'd like to see. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. If this gets rejected, comes down, retests this level and breaks down, And this is not a support line. This is the ABC, just so you know, this is the ABC wave correction from the Elliott wave sort of outline. So we're only looking at these dotted lines. If this does come down and lose this level, then I think that we are going to test lower and come down and test this line down here, 28,865. And this is an important line. What is this line? Let's look at it. This line, look how far back this line goes. All the way back to December 2022. So basically 7 months, 8 months. This is macro support, a midterm macro support here. And if we lose this line, that's when we can see the confirmation of this playing out, this ABC wave coming down, likely to test the 25 to 26 range at minimum. So that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. We have got a lot of work to do above us. If this does start pushing up, if this does resolve to the upside, and the next 4-hour candle closure isn't starting to round out like this, and if it does, we want to see a bull flag or something. We want to see this, work its way back up to test the top side of these candle bodies here, which is up here at basically $29,800, $30,000. But we still have work to do within this range. You see this tightening range here. So we're not out of the woods yet because we've got a couple $100 pump here. This is, from the bottom of this candle, 29.3, and we're at 29, the top of the candle, 29,550. This is not a pump yet. This is just a bullish impulse within a larger downward move. So this very well could fail. We want to keep our wits about us. Let's go over to Ethereum. So let's go ahead and delete some of these. Okay. This too had a little bit of a breakout, push up, test down. Where did it test down to? Look at that. This line, this trend line from boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. So we could see test down, but we're just at equilibrium. We could ignore this and ignore this because we're at the same price level. We're consolidating sideways. We're looking here on the 4. Let's look at the daily first. Oh, the daily's looking better. Look at the momentum is angled to the upside, but it's starting to curve. I don't want this to get rejected, this momentum right here, get rejected before we even cross this zero line and then come back down. This may mean a larger move to the downside. If this impulse up, see this impulse up crosses over the zero line. We don't want to see this not even make it to the zero line and come back down. Currently, the stochastic's still angled up, but they're getting fairly high relative to past angles, past sort of levels of the stochastics. And this price has not even broken this previous high. And look at this. We are being suppressed on the daily under this trend signal line, this 50 moving average right here. Still bright red. We also have these order blocks. What do I mean by order blocks? I've told you time and time again, these auto-populated red sort of zones based on where liquidity might come back and tap. Came back, tapped it, came back, tapped it, came back, got rejected below it. Can this not even get to this time? We also have the bottom side of this order block, right where this trend signal line has come down to the bottom of the zone. What we really want to see is this come back up and test this level. This is at 1863. We'd like to break that. Coming down to the 4-hour. 4-hour, look at this. We've broken above the 20 and the 50 moving average and the EMA ribbon. And we've come down, found support on the 50, broke back up to the upside. Look at this. This is shaking out everybody in both directions. It's trying to get people to go long, trying to get people to go short. There's still a little bit of uncertainty about what's going on here. And then we see this large arc to the upside and the impulse. Look at this impulse to the upside. And this didn't even take out this previous high. This is still looking relatively weak. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's look at ADA. If you're in the Cardano family, if you're a holder, throw up, put Cardano in the comments. What level did you buy at? Some people are going to say like 7 cents, some 25, some 75. Some people may have bought it at $3 and been holding it. I do believe in this project long term. There's still some work to be done because of everything going on with the SEC allegations and Coinbase and all that sort of stuff. But I do think there's steady building fundamental development, DeFi applications, dApps, total value locked. We're seeing some really good things on, let's go over here, DeFiLlama.com. Oops. Why can't I type? DeFiLlama.com. Now come over here. Let's go to chains. Let's go down to, where is Cardano? There it is. So total value locked, kind of slowly trudging higher this year. If we look at volume, look at this spike in volume here. This was probably the sell-off from the allegations from SEC. See this dip right afterwards. This is a price, but we see this huge volume leading into this. But look at this. We've already recovered that in terms of volume. Fees. So we're seeing good things on Cardano and developments and fundamentals of the back end. You know, people, you know, still heavily participating in the Cardano ecosystem. Let's see. Sawtooth Hiker, do you get the lowest? Did you get the lowest? You got 18 cents. Oh wait, do I see? Oh, I see. Crypto Crabman got between $9 and 9 cents and 35 cents. Wait, no, it's 0.9. So 90 cents and 35. So I think Sawtooth Hiker still has the lowest. I got in at about a little under about 1 cent, and I had about 800,000 Cardano, and I made a good trade, but I did it much too soon. I sold when it went up to about between 4 and 6 cents, and I'll tell you what. I mean, I was back in by the time it was really running and we got up to $3. But man, I was like, man, why don't I have those 800,000 Cardano anymore? But you can't, a profitable trade is a winning trade. You can't look back and say, had I only, just don't do it next, be more patient, leave a side bag. All right. So looking here at Cardano, let's kind of look at the 3-day, what's going on here. This is an old chart right here. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Look at that. I'd drawn this out before. We had this rising wedge, like I was talking about before on the S&P 500. But see this rising wedge, rising broadening wedge. I mean, this is tapping up here on the top side of this wick, broke down to the downside. But look at this on the 3-day. We're holding on top of the trend signal line right here. We're just trickling on it, just trickle. Now. Money flow still negative. $12-hour, we're below. We're getting rejected. And in this case, we have a bit of a trend line here. So for Cardano, we can see. Is this a little bit? Yeah, it's a little bit. We have this sort of range that we're in right now between 28.8 and up here at 29.69, which is also, if we came up over to this, perfectly in line with where this order block is directly above our head, which also is in line where the previous range high is right here, the most previous high. The question is going to be on this push up, if this gets rejected right here at 29.49, then there may be some work for this to come down and actually break lower. And we can see that this option J, 27.63, and then also this sort of box right here with all of this price action, which is basically between 25.37 and 26 cents. So I still have a feeling that Cardano may have a little bit of a wick or some price action that comes down to tap somewhere in the zone between 26 and 27.5. And I'll be a buyer there. I would be a buyer for Cardano at those levels. Sheesh, Kelly. What's up? Yeah. So, but it doesn't have to happen. We can also look right here if we go option F to the top. Look at that. We're trading right below the golden pocket too. Look at that. We found support on the golden pocket. This green line came down, found rejection on the bottom side of the golden pocket. Now we broke up above it and came back down below it. if we do go further to the downside, look at this previous level I was looking at, the one, of course the one is there, but then the 786 happens to line up right in this range where these previous lows are. So it's crazy how the fibs and the previous price action levels that give us an idea of opportunity zones line up so regularly. Then of course here we've got the 382, which is right where this order block is. Got the golden pocket right where this order block is. So this is what I'm looking at for Cardano. If we are able to push up and take this out, we still have a lot of work to do because we have this line right here with these previous lows. This also sort of found support here and rejected below it. So if we do push up and take out this 30-cent level, then it's going to be some work to do to break out of this 30.70. But as it stands right now, I'm leaning towards just probably either compressing into this range or having a bit of a leg down, maybe a spring before we go back up. Let me see. Let's do ICP. Oh, let's do XRP first, then we'll do ICP. Because everything going on. All right, this is still holding right in this sort of zone. Let's do option F to the top. So you see this is golden pocket. The 786 is almost perfectly in line with this high, this previous resistance. Is this going to be support? There's a zone right here on XRP that may be a good opportunity zone if there's a bullish support at these levels. Okay, there we go. And this is essentially 57.6 cents up to about 59 cents. If we lose this level, it's not the end of the world because we still have all these previous, if we go like this sort of range here, this regional area, it's not this exact line, but this would be ultimately a great opportunity zone anywhere in here from 54 cents up to 59 cents. I do think there's a huge positive wins coming for XRP over the next year and a half, especially with a lot of the integrations that they're having with large banks and whatnot. The question is going to be, how does the SEC appeal factor into the sentiment and the narrative of this? Or will the appeal, I mean, how long is it going to take? We saw the last case took 3 years. Is this appeal going to drag out for another year and a half, or will judges just get tired of the SEC and be like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about," and they who knows? But we have to keep an eye on that. If we do lose this level, right below it, we have this large sort of trend line here, the support, which is not that far below it, in this zone here down at 51 cents. So that's what we're seeing on XRP. ICP. You know me. You down with ICP? Okay, look at this. Man. This is kind of arcing. You see this arc? What do I mean by arc? Well, first off, let me find my brush. See this arc? This is an arc on a pullback here, and an arc. Will this find support somewhere here or somewhere in this zone and then lift off? I don't know. Let's sort of look at some of the metrics here. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly momentum's angled up. 3 days. Momentum was angled up, but look at this. It's starting to roll back over. That's not a good sign. Daily. It's pulling back. The momentum has been angled down. But can this arc over? Look at all these green signals we're seeing on the BitLab Trend Fuel. So, yeah, let's come down to the 12-hour. A lot of green still. This is starting to arc over as well. Stochastics angled up, RSI angled up, 8-hour. So we're seeing the same thing. We're seeing some bullishness come in on the mid to low time frames. 4-hour, we have the angle up here, and we have a little bit of a mixed story here on the signal reads. But what we'd like to see is for the price action to push somewhere into the zone, not being rejected directly below it. Because as it stands right now, this is looking like it's kind of established. Well, in this case, it kind of looks like it broke out because we have level, rejection, breakout. So this is looking a little bit better, but we want this to, if this does pull back, to hold on this line or above. Likely, I'd really like it to hold on this line right here, which is kind of where regionally it has. We want to see this push up and take out at minimum on this go, this line right here, which is this sort of high, maybe a little pullback and then continuation to the upside. That's what I'm seeing on ICP. If we do lose levels, this is looking a little, look at this, compression into this range and break out. That's what I was talking about on Bitcoin. So if we look at this on the 12-hour, if we lose this level, then I do think that there's probably some more downside here that may take us down to 403. If we lose that, then we're looking at 362. Those are the levels I'm seeing on ICP. This is currently in the middle of a breakout of this small time frame range. If we look on the 2-hour, look at it, angled up, mostly green, 1 hour. Maybe there's going to be some follow through. Look at this. Push, turn, turn. So let's go ahead and go like this. And what did I tell you? Just looking at the price, I was saying I wanted to at least take out this level and work its way somewhere in the middle here. And that's what the target is on this structure, this formation. So let's see if the bulls can follow through. XLM. All right, let's look at XLM. So let's go back to let's go to the daily. Oh, sorry. There we go. So it feels like this, now expanded to this. Will we get another expansion? No, it looks something like this. Target 24,559. Let's actually look at this real quick. And look at this target. This target is in line where this rejected, this kind of rejected below it, this bounced. So this is a pretty strong level. And it's crazy how this price action suggests that the target would be right here. I did not look at this to get this target. I looked at this structure. I took this flagpole, extended it beyond this breakout, and that's what we're seeing. So let's go ahead and draw a little bit of a box on XLM, and that is sort of this zone right here. That is basically in the 23 to 25 cent region. The reason why I do, let's actually go like this. Yeah, 23 to 25 cents. The reason I do that is because targets don't typically get hit on the dollar, because other people can see these targets as well. So if other people can see these targets, people sort of ladder out their entries and also front run where this target would ultimately be, where the price action says it's going to go. Because if 10,000 people are seeing that as a target, then they want to get out before the liquidity is eaten up and they're not able to exit the position. So when you do see a target, this is also why you can kind of go like this. You can kind of ladder out your exits here. You can use a 1.6. I took it from the top to this bottom, ladder out a little bit with this 1.618 right here at 19. If you're swing trading, if you're doing very small time frame trades is what I mean. Not if you're position trading for, you're setting up for the bull market. 19 cents. Between 19, you can kind of ladder out, part of your positions here, or set up a trailing stop loss to where as the price pushes up, your stop loss moves along with the price. Now, look at where this price action, we need to watch this right here. This is this bounce, bounce, rejection, rejection, rejection. On this price action move, we want to see XLM take out not only this line, but we want to push up. We'll likely get a rejection at this 50 50 moving average trend signal line, and come down and retest this and then launch. But if we just skate right through it, then that's going to be ultimately very bullish. But we want to watch the level here at 16, basically 16.5. These previous high regions, 16.5 to 17. And if we're able to take that out, then we'll likely have follow through up here to the target. That's what I'm seeing on XLM. Injective. Let's look at Injective. Anybody's wondering why and where I'm pulling these charts from in terms of why am I selecting these. Before the stream starts at 10:15 a.m. every day, we have a pre-show, basically 10 a.m. to 10:15. It's just a hold screen up, but I'm talking with everybody in the audience. It's the early birds. It's everybody that's here showing up early, and I chat, directly with everybody that's here. We usually have between 40 and 90 people, and I ask people what charts they want to see in today's stream. And so we sort of gather that data and see what people are most wanting to see, and that's where I'm pulling these charts from. It's not because I hold them, no, it's because the audience that's participating and being involved with the show and being here and showing up early, they get to help shape what's going on with the show. Now we can see right here, we got a reversal to the upside, push, pullback, push, pullback, push, M formation here on injective, and then down, a little bit of a relief. I'm looking at likely another down, a little bit of a relief, and maybe on the bullish case for a pullback, finding a sort of W bottom down here in this zone right here. And we can, where's my boom? We had this push, you bastard. We had this push. Come on. There we go. Little push up, down, push up, down. Maybe we'll get a W formation here to break out. That's the bullish case. The bearish case would be to come down here, lose this level, and come much further. That's what I'm seeing. I'm looking at price action coming down somewhere into the 6.9 to 7.15 sort of range. 7.18 to 6.9. That's what I'm seeing because of this structure. We've established a downtrend. Look at this. We had a lower high, lower low, continuation, small retracements, finding resistance at the 20. Didn't even make it up to the 50. And it's, look at this, still finding resistance. I do think this is likely going to move to the downside. Coming down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, it looks like it's loading up. See this? Loading up with momentum, but it's very mixed signals here on this trend signal control panel down here from the BitLab Trend Fuel Oscillator. And yeah, maybe we'll get a small move to the upside, but I ultimately think this is coming down. Now, injective. Let's do near. Who holds near? How many of you guys hold nears? Holds near, I should say. All right. Let's go to the daily. Daily, getting a couple green signals here. Couple green signals. We got this large impulse to the downside, smaller impulse to the downside. Look at the money flow. Money flow looks like it's angled to the upside. Maybe there's something that's going to happen here, but we got two sort of trend lines here with the RSI and the stochastics, both getting suppressed right here. If these break out, we'll likely be seeing a move with near. And we can also see this on the chart itself. We see this trend line right here. Boom. Got another trend line. Looks like this broke out of this zone. See this wick right here, and then support right here. Descending, broadening wedge, very lightly broadening. Maybe it's not. It actually looks more like a parallel channel. Yeah, parallel channel, which is same thing. These are bullish structures consolidating to the downside. This is trying to break out here. We got somewhat bullish signals here. If we come down to the 4 hour, we can see that it did break out, came down, tested support. The question is going to be right here. It feels like this wants to travel sideways. Feels like this wants to travel sideways. We're right here on the point of control. Look at this. If this does dip to the downside, coming down here to bounce on this order block area, which is also around the lows of this range, wouldn't be out of the question. Because on the 4 hour, we do see this is shaping up to be a little bit mixed signals with some bearishness dominating over the bullishness and to gray, which is neutral. We see the momentum is starting to roll over. What does it look like on the 1 hour? Look at this. We have a sideways range here. We did get a buy signal there, or a bullish, I should say. It's not necessarily a buy signal. It's a bullish signal here. And we got the move, but the move resulted in a lower high. So if this cannot overtake on this 1 hour, if it cannot overtake this 50 moving average right here, which is also in line with the bottom side of this order block, this likely will be testing to the downside. But we still have all this green on the 1 hour. Is this likely to about to have a little bit of a pop through? We want to see, if so, that we take out this level right here, which is this breakdown point, which is at $1.35, which is not that far above us. I mean, it's a minuscule amount. It's 0.5%. But what we really want to see, if this has a chance of doing anything, is breaking out above this level up here at $1.36 or so. If we do that, then we will be starting to form a bullish structure. Now, ape. I said I'd do ape. Now we're doing turbo TA this last 5 minutes. I'm going to be looking at some smaller coins. By looking at them, it does not mean that I hold them or that I support them. Or that, no, I'm looking at TA that the community has asked for. So just note that. And again, this section, when I'm doing all this TA, this section is brought to you by BitGet. We're going to have some live trading, and basically, it's going to be a course that's integrated with actually trading live and doing it together. The only way you can have access to that is signing up with the BitGet link down below in the description. I will say with that, it's important that if you're doing anything in crypto, that you protect yourself and you use a VPN. So anytime you're using any exchange ever, use a VPN. Make sure you're setting obfuscate where your IP is coming from, so that people cannot hack your system. And it also will allow you to utilize some of the services that the exchanges themselves have to limit you on if you are from the US, and it's for their benefit. It's for their regulation. It's not regulated that you are not allowed to use these. So get a VPN, use it, and sign up for BitGet, and you can be trading with me here very shortly. Now, looking at ape, we can see, look at this little double bottom formation here. This looks like when we had the double bottom on Bitcoin after the FTX collapse, and then we had that sort of. Let's kind of look at this on the daily first. Ooh, look at this. This is actually looking relatively bullish setup. But in order to confirm that, we need to break past this level here, $219, 220. If we could take that out, if we could take out 220, then we'll likely get a small pullback and start working our way back up. But this is starting to look like it's rounding, and we can see this in the 50 moving average. You see how this is angling like this? We're seeing a little bit of life come in with the momentum is attacking to the upside. This did not get over the zero line. Got over the zero line. Where is this going to go? Is this momentum that breaks up, even if it pulls back afterwards? Is this momentum going to be a little bit higher? That's what we want to see from this previous zone. We want to see this next crossing of the zero line take momentum above this previous impulse to the upside. That will show us that the wind is shifting from the bears to the bulls. If this does get rejected here and come back down, at maximum, I'd like to see this hold above the $1.75, $1.76 sort of zone. If we lose that level, then this may be just a fake out and continuation of the downside. As it stands, though, it does look like the attempt to the upside is in play. However, the stochastics are getting a little overheated, and the RSI is getting up there as well. Stochastics are starting to roll over, so pay attention to that. You've kind of missed this move. I'd be waiting for some sort of pullback if you're still looking to go long on this. And remember, if Bitcoin starts having dramatic moves to the downside, if we lose the floor we're at, then all these altcoins that we're doing TA on will likely suffer a worse fate, meaning that they will fall more. Matic hugging the lower side of this range. We're on the daily, hugging the lower side of this range. This is, look at this, momentum coming up, stochastics up, RSI angled up. What's it look like on the 4 hour? 4 hour broke out of this range, just consolidating sideways under these order block levels. I'd like to see this get above 70 cents, 71 cents. And then we could talk about the levels above that, these being kind of those levels, 74 cents, 78 cents. But as it stands right now, this has been hugging this lower side of this range. If we lose this order block right below us, and this, it's coming into confluence right here at 64.8. We lose that level, the next leg down, 60 cents. If we lose this sort of zone, we're likely going lower. But as it stands right now, we can see on the momentum, the story is that the bullish pressure is increasing. We can also see it on this control panel down here, some neutral, then all green, no red. So is there a move coming for Matic? It looks like it could be setting up, but we need to pay attention and not get ahead of ourselves. So coming back over to, before we go, let's look at Bitcoin. By the way, I will be doing TA for BitBoy Crypto after this show. So tune in there, drop your lab coats in the chat. Let's go ahead and show them what a positive community is all about. And we're going to be talking about that. So let's come back over to this boom right here. Nope. Yeah. All right. Double click. Okay, we're coming into this zone. This zone right here is October 26th, where it crosses. This is consolidating in this region. We have pushed up, got rejected at these lows. Pushed down. We've broken out of this small time frame trend line. We are moving up. We want to see this. If this does come up, maybe we're going to test the top side of this range. We also have a confluent zone right here. This is up at 29.9, 29.8. Will we see that? Do you think we're going to see that? There's a case to be made that it could happen. People are bored. They want things to happen. Look at the volume. This is the other thing. Volume completely diminished. Now an expansion in volume. So there's a little bit of agreement with this movement to the upside. So as it stands right now, I would be on the side. Let's come down to the 1 hour. I would be on the side of this likely testing a bit higher today. Yeah, I'd be on the side of this testing higher today. We see the momentum angled up. Stochastics came up right here. Interestingly, the stochastics have been falling as this has been pushing up. We are getting a volume candle right here, though. I do not want to see one of these on the BitLab intelligence, these yellow candles that suggest a little bit of stopping volume. In this case, though, we got it, and then a small pullback and push off. So what are we going to see right here on the 1 hour candles? This is looking like it's trying to attempt higher. What does it look down on in the 15 minutes? Okay, we had the pullback and then a resuming of momentum to the upside. This does look like it's going to try and attempt higher throughout this day. Excuse me. But with that, I love y'all. Make sure you're hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, dinging that bell. And again, if you haven't yet, look at the pinned comment on the top of this. You know, we've got a lot of family out there, and we're raising money to take care of families and everybody out there in Maui, Hawaii. So make sure you, if you have any money to donate, or even if it's a cup of coffee, something, people don't have food, they don't have homes, they don't have the ability to work. The entire town of Lahaina is gone. So the link is pinned in the top where it says donate here. This is where we're dispersing that money from to those individuals out there. So I appreciate everybody that does share in helping the community. Big love to everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in. I'll see you all. Where's the thing? Hold on. I will see you all over on BitBoy Crypto. Why is this not showing? I don't know. I'll see you all on the, there it is. Customization. Redirect. There we go. I'll see you guys over on BitBoy Crypto. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. I appreciate you. That's all I got. Over and out. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Hit that like button, sucker.